as New York City began to industrialize and was producing more and more garbage every single day, we need to do a lot of things to make sure that we kept the garbage off of our streets. So the Department of Sanitation came forward with a couple of landfills. In the 1980s and 1990s, many of those landfills throughout New York City began to close, and Freshkills on Staten Island became the only operating landfill in New York City in 1991. So it was receiving all of New York City's garbage. The peak of our operations in the 80s, we received about 29,000 tons a day, which was definitely not something that the residents and the community members were positive about. The common memory that I share with most Staten Islanders is driving on the highway, the West Shore Expressway, which was also built by Robert Moses, who planned out this place, and just smelling just a horrible stench, and being used to that and feeling that every day is like, okay, we're gonna go through past the dump now, you need to roll up your windows and put the AC on. And to just change from that, everyone, including myself, when the first time we came out here, we just noticed, where's the smell? There's no smell here. And that changes the conversation from, this is a smelly place, this is a bad place, to, oh, this is actually a nice place. You can see out your window right there is our resident osprey. He's up in his nest.
We're very interested in habitat destruction because it's the top threat to biological diversity around the world. And this area was completely destroyed when it was a garbage dump. And now we're interested in studying what happens when you reclaim an area and turn it into a park. What we see on Staten Island is really this matrix of human use. So you have a wildlife refuge, you have a major urban metropolis, and then you have this reclaimed site. And so all of this matrix reflects that humans are having an impact on the landscape, and that we're part of the landscape and we're part of nature, and it's a really interesting place to study.
When garbage decomposes, it breaks down into more simple forms. So gases are being released by that decomposing garbage, and we have to manage the gas release. So we have these wellheads. There are about 900 of them throughout the site, about one every acre. And they help us extract that methane gas. And it gets filtered through these flare stations right here. The gas is being recovered via the wellheads on this site, gets passed through this station before it goes down to our treatment center. So once we have that pure amount of methane, it gets passed directly to National Grid. We sell it to them via the city, and the city makes a couple of bucks off of that deal, which is good for us, not just an environmental issue, but an economical issue too. We're using what would be a pollutant in one life to actually be a source of power in this life.
The most interesting aspect of this park is what I always ask students to consider. Is it okay to just create a lot of garbage and then cover it up and make a park? And that's a very complicated question. And because habitat destruction is the top threat to life on Earth these days, this is a very interesting example that ties in the biology with what people are doing and how we can build a better future.
It's a story that the park tells, and it tells us that every day, that we need to be more concerned about the waste that's coming from us. And say, am I being the most responsible person I can be today? For the entire city to be thinking about that same thing. What have I done with this place before? What does it mean for the future? What's the potential here?